It sounded like a high-velocity railgun misfiring inside a library. Crack. That's the only way I can describe it. A wet, sickening snap that bounced off the polished marble walls of the Zenith Spire's grand cafeteria, instantly silencing 300 conversations. And then came the scream. It wasn't the human screaming, though. It was Krogath. I mean, the guy is a walking tank, a heavy world elite whose family basically owns the nebula. And he was on his knees, clutching his hand like it had just been fed into a wood chipper. Maya Lin? She was standing there, blinking, holding a small plate with a pink pastry on it, looking down at him with genuine confusion. He hit her with the force of a hydraulic press, and she just asked if he was okay. But wait, you have to understand the setup here. It didn't start with shattered bones, and it started with a strawberry tart. The Zenith Spire is supposed to be the pinnacle of galactic education, right? But between you and me, it's mostly a finishing school for the galaxy's fragile aristocracy. You've got species here who bruise if the air conditioning is too strong. Then you had Maya. We didn't know much about her file back then, just some clerical error that listed her home planet as a garden world. We thought she was soft. We thought her lack of an exoskeleton or energy shield meant she was vulnerable. We were idiots. It was dessert rotation. The synthesizer had just spit out the last synthesized strawberry tart of the cycle. Maya was next in line. She looked happy, you know. Just a cadet securing a sugary treat after a long day of orbital mechanics. That's when Krogath stomped in. Krogath is, well, it was, the undisputed king of the cafeteria. He's built like a boulder with an ego problem, used to shoving lesser beings into lockers. He saw the tart. He saw the small, squishy biped holding it. He decided the natural order needed some percussive maintenance. He cut the line, looming over her like a collapsing building, and barked at her to hand it over. Now, usually, this is the part where the victim drops the tray and runs. Maya just looked up. She didn't flinch. She didn't cower. She just said, "I was here first." Krogath didn't take it well. He went for the shove. I saw his shoulder dip, engaging that massive kinetic recoil he uses to knock down blast doors. He threw his weight into her. And this is where the physics lesson started. The irresistible force met the immovable object, and the object was just a human standing in line for dessert. She didn't budge. I mean, she didn't even slide. It was like he pushed a statue bolted to the deck. That's gravitational conditioning for you. We didn't know she spent her childhood in 1G, constantly fighting a planet that wants to crush her flat. To her, standing still is an active workout. To Krogath, it was an insult. He roared. He pulled his arm back, charging up a strike that would have caved in a maintenance droid. He swung, a direct, full-force haymaker aimed right at her temple. I wanted to close my eyes. I thought I was about to watch a murder. His fists blurred through the air, carrying enough kinetic energy to breach a hull. It connected. And then the sound happened. Crack! Krogath flew back, literally flew back, spinning in the air before crashing into the salad bar. Maya? Her head moved maybe an inch to the left. She reached up, rubbed her temple like she had a mild headache, and looked at the tart to make sure the topping hadn't slid off. It wasn't a fight. It was a physics lesson involving kinetic energy and superior calcium deposits. We all stared at Krogath's hand. It looked like a bag of gravel. He had struck what he thought was soft tissue and found out the hard way that humans walk around wearing calcified armor under their skin. The infirmary looked like a trauma center after a shuttle crash. But there was only one patient. Dr. Zyla, our avian medic, whose bones are basically hollow toothpicks, was hovering over Krogath's hand with a scanner, making distressed chirping noises. Every time the light passed over his knuckles, she winced. I was in the corner, trying to look busy with a data pad. But really, I just had to know. The damage report scrolling on the wall screen was brutal. 3 compound fractures, shattered metacarpals, and severe ligament trauma. It looked like he had punched a bulkhead door at warp speed. "How?" Dr. Zayla squawked, turning to look at Maya, who was sitting on the exam table swinging her legs. "You have no exoskeleton, no dermal plating. You are soft." "Milk," Maya said. She took a bite of the strawberry tart she'd somehow managed to smuggle in. "And gravity. Where I come from, the planet tries to flatten you every second of every day. We build dense bones just to walk to the fridge." The door hissed open, and the academy board swarmed in. Dean Czar, a floating cephalopod with a serious attitude problem, slapped a file onto a holographic projector. "Explain this," he demanded, and the projection showed Earth. But instead of the soothing green garden world tag we were used to seeing, it now flashed a jagged, angry red. Class 12 Death World. The room went silent. We all stared at the classification. Class 12. That's reserved for planets with active volcanism, predatory fauna, and weather that strips paint. "It was a clerical error," the dean muttered, his tentacles turning a shade of embarrassed purple. "We missed a decimal point in the gravity well calculations." Security footage started playing on the main monitor. It was undeniable. Frame by frame, we watched Krogath wind up like a siege engine. We watched his fist connect with Maya's temple, and we watched her head barely move. She didn't block. She didn't dodge. She just existed harder than he could punch. It was passive defense at its finest, winning a fight by simply enduring it. "He broke his hand on her face," Dr. Zyla whispered, horrified. "Her skull. It is not bone. It is organic concrete." The disciplinary hearing was the shortest in Academy history. They didn't even ask Maya to testify. They just played the video of Krogath bouncing off her skull on loop. The verdict was unanimous. Krogath was stripped of his elite status and handed a mop. I walked past the cafeteria later that cycle, and there he was, the former king of the food court, scrubbing the floor around Maya's table. He looked terrified. Every time she reached for a napkin, he flinched. And the fallout? Immediate. The next morning, bright yellow signs appeared on every human dorm room. "Caution. High gravity skeletal structure. Do not strike." And it was hilarious and terrifying at the same time. The student body treated Maya like she was made of unstable plutonium. I saw a group of reptilian seniors cross the hallway just to avoid walking near her elbows. Maya, she was fine. She sat alone in the center of the cafeteria, enjoying her second tart of the day, completely unbothered by the wide berth everyone gave her. She caught me looking and winked. I didn't wink back. I just nodded and kept walking. You don't mess with a species that evolved on a Class 12 death world. They don't need armor. They are the tank. And honestly, I'm just glad she likes strawberries and not, well, us.